start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Player Essence, you were doing so well. I was starting to get you trained so very well, but you just had to open your mouth up. You just had to keep running your mouth, and now I got to sit here and put you back in your place. Let's get into it.
But what's up, Flippin' Switch? Another troll finished the Shadow Fox debate. The game keycard section was hilarious. I didn't finish the Shadow Fox debate because, once again...
Oh, I'm pretty positive that he did. The only reason why he didn't really talk about it before someone brought it up, was because I didn't get destroyed in the debate. If I would have gotten cooked or destroyed, he would have been running his mouth like he always does. We all know it.
The guy was complaining about an echo. I just didn't feel like watching it, man. Like, I turned it on. It was too long.
Shadow volumes? What are we talking about that needs to happen to make Mario Kart World appear more?
Oh yeah, there was a huge echo. That is what I was dealing with. I'm just showing this because people keep bringing it up that I was hearing an echo, and some people are like, oh, well, I didn't hear it. This is just to squash any rumor that maybe I was lying about it. That is literally what I was hearing for over 2 hours of that debate. Okay, I'm not making any excuses. You know, unfortunately, we didn't get together ahead of time to sit here and get everything set up and everything working correctly. We had so many technical issues. That was on me, the host, and Shadow. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and that one's on us. I'm not making no excuses over it. I'm just showing you guys that it was real, and that was what I was dealing with.
I didn't feel like watching it. I'm tired of that dude. He's a bum, so I just don't feel like watching it.
How am I a bum? I'm not the one that leeches off of people. Actually, that's you. You're the one that has to team up with people in a debate to leech off of them for some facts.
Like I said, it was a messy debate. Like, it was just...
Oh, very true. And unfortunately, like I keep saying, that's on us. I got no excuse for it.
It wasn't... I didn't feel like watching, man. I'm tired. I'm kind of like over all of that, man. Like, I'm over the fake people. I'm over the clout chasers. I'm over it.
Please explain how I'm clout chasing here. You do realize that I'm not the one that challenged them. They challenged me to the debate. You do understand that, right? You do realize that me and Shadow are at the same level of subscribers. You do understand that. I actually have more than Sandstorm. Unfortunately, his channel got deleted, taken down, or something. But I do have more subscribers than Sandstorm does. So explain to me how I am clout chasing. You know, I didn't sit there and had Nintendo Prime in on it. I didn't know that this was going to be promoted the way it was. I'm perfectly fine with it. Hey, we garnered some attention for it, and I am perfectly okay with that. But how am I clout chasing? Please explain, Player Essence.
So I don't really feel like dealing with it, man. Honestly, like, to keep it a buck, I don't feel like dealing with it. So,
well, this is your problem. No one cares what you feel like dealing with. That is completely irrelevant. Maybe if you did what your fans want you to, you'd probably make some more money than what you do. You wouldn't have had to sell your Steam Deck in order to afford the Switch 2. You probably just could have outright bought one. But unfortunately, you've been doing this long enough, but yet you haven't mastered the art of giving your fans what they want.
Yeah, that debate was so unwatchable. Yeah, because like he was like complaining about an echo.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a good debate. We had a lot of technical issues in the beginning. It took us like 10 minutes just to even get it to where it was tolerable for most people. And we still couldn't even fix it on my end. So unfortunately, yeah, the technical issues ruined the debate. What we should have done was we should have sat there and canceled it, rescheduled it for a later date. But we didn't. We pushed forward, and that's on us. I have no excuses for how bad that debate was. Just unfortunately, we messed up, and that's on us.
The whole time, and then just like I heard one of the guy was like typing in the background. One of the guys was like, I was just like,
I agree. I heard typing in the background. That wasn't from me. I have no idea who that one was. That was either the host or that was Shadow.
It was just like the debate was definitely like not great in terms of the production. So
agreed. But you know what the funny thing is? He Shadow and I think Sandstorm, I don't know if Sandstorm is, but I know Shadow is like a homie of his. They're like cool with each other. You do realize that you're making fun of Shadow and Sandstorm, right? This is how stupid this guy is. You let him talk long enough and he exposes himself. I sit there and I've said this many of times. So pretty much what he's wanting to do is bash me, but what he's actually doing is bashing people that he's either cool with or homies with. That's how stupid this guy is. You let him run his mouth, he ends up bashing his own friends. Look what he did to Woods from Beat 'em Ups.
I just got frustrated. Not frustrated, but I was like, this is irrelevant. Like, once again, it's a moron that the Shadow Fox is debating. Like,
how am I a moron? The funny thing is, when it comes to the second topic that I did about the whole third-party game key cards, he actually sits there and says the exact same thing on what I say. He actually would agree with me, but the problem is he's so freaking stupid, he doesn't realize it. Because even he himself has said that what do you expect a third-party person to do when the only options are a 64 gig or a game key card? He has literally said it in his streams.
I'm not listening to an idiot speak for 2 hours. That's just, no, there's no way. So
You do realize that I didn't speak for that whole 2 hours. You do understand that Shadow also spoke for a good amount of time. So if you don't want to listen to someone speak for 2 hours, that's an idiot. Are you saying that Shadow is also one? I don't think you should say that about a friend or a homie.
So you didn't miss nothing. The only thing is how Fox broke down why you didn't succeed and why Switch 1 did.
Yeah, which wasn't even one of the topics of the debate. That was a Q&A, and we were just giving our opinions on why it happened and why it didn't happen.
Once again, yeah, that stuff, the stuff that I heard them debating, it's just stuff that's just irrelevant. Like,
well, you would have had to have watched more than 2 minutes of the video to know what all the stuff we were talking about. So how are you going to sit there and say in plural that you knew of all the stuff we were talking about, like topics wise? So now you're exposing yourself even more. You're literally doing my job for me.
None of it is relevant. Like, none of it is actually relevant. None of it actually matters. Like the topics of game key cards.
Oh, I would agree that why the Wii U failed and I guess the Switch 1 was a success. I agree, but that was just for a Q&A. See, when you get the audience involved, it makes it better. I don't know if you understand that, Player Essence. And also, I forgot to sit here and say earlier in the video, but there's another content creator in there. You know, he keeps commenting and sitting there saying like, oh, I wanted to jump in. You know, hey, flipping the switch. If you have such a problem with what I say, you can reach out to me and we can talk about it here. You know, if you think that I was so wrong or so bad, why don't you please explain to me what I was wrong about? I will gladly accept any information. If I was so wrong, especially on the game keycard situation, I will gladly accept your information. If you have any facts or evidence to show that I was wrong, please send them to me. But until then, I think you're just talking out your ass.
Who cares? Like, you either buy them or you don't. Third parties were either they're not gonna pay for 64 gigabyte cartridge. That's it.
That's exactly what I said. I sat there and said there's only a 64 gigabyte cartridge or there's a game key card. Those are the only ones that we know of. So I sat there and said, if they're not going to put it on, then they're going to put on the game key card. That I literally said that in the debate. Do you understand that, Player Essence? So you're sitting there saying like, oh, well, I didn't agree or I didn't like what they were talking about, the whole game key card thing. How do you know what we were talking about if you never watched it?
That's it. But they want to have a retail presence. So they made game key card. There was game key cards on Switch 1. There was a bunch of them where you need the internet to do it. There's game key cards on PS5 and on Xbox Series.
Okay, but that wasn't what the topic was about. The topic about it was who was at fault for it, and I said that it depended on the game and the situation.
Whatever. Nintendo just gave them a name and they're more prevalent because people aren't going to pay for a 64 gigabyte cartridge. Either they pay for it or they don't. There's nothing to debate. There's like nothing to debate on that. Either you pay for them or you don't. Like the third parties, they said,
Nah, that's not true. I actually thought that both of the topics were very good topics to debate about. Even the Q&A, I thought all of them, there was a couple that I really didn't think were good questions, but for the most part, all those questions were very good. You do understand, though, Player Essence, that I wasn't the one that picked those topics. You do realize that was Shadow and the host. Well, no, that was just Shadow who picked it. So if you're cool with Shadow, supposed to be friends or a homie or something, why are you sitting here making fun of Shadow for picking picking those topics. I don't think you understand, or I don't think you realize that he's the one that picked the topics. You probably think it was me. But no, I didn't pick these topics because I never knew what shadow stances were to begin with.
Hey, look, we'll do it or we'll not. That's it. That's it. The 64 gigabyte cartridges are expensive as hell. They're proprietary. Only one person makes them.
I may be wrong, but I believe that Shadow said that there were like 3 places that made them, if I remember correctly. But yes, I agreed that there was. But guess what? You're sitting here saying that there's only a 64 gig or there is a game key card. You do realize that Shadow was trying to pretty much shame me for having that opinion, right? He was trying to say that that is an opinion from ignorance. You do understand that. So pretty much you're having the exact same opinion that I had.
So they're going to be expensive. The production's going to be limited. There's not going to be a ton of them. That's it. There ain't nothing to debate. There ain't nothing to debate on that. There ain't nothing to debate on Wii U.
I agree. There is nothing to debate with Wii U. That wasn't even a topic. That was a Q&A that a audience member, because you got a really bad habit talking crap about people's audience members, and it wasn't even one of my audience members. It was either one of Nintendo Prime's or on one of their channels. It wasn't even one of my members. So why are you talking crap about Nintendo YouTubers' audiences in the first place?
System's done. It's gone. It's been done. It's been done for years. Dude, Wii U came out 13 years ago. It's over with. It's done, over with, buried, dead, move on. Like,
I agree. It is completely dead. It's completely gone, just like your hairline. But guess what? I'm not the one that brought the Wii U up. That was technically Shadow that did in the very first topic, and then a member of, I believe it was Prime's channel, actually asked that question. Why did we think the Wii U failed and why we thought that the Nintendo Switch made a comeback? We both gave our opinions. It was a Q&A type of debate here.
Switch came out 8 years ago. People just need to move on from that type of stuff. There's no point in debating these type of things, in my opinion. The topics were not up to my liking. I did not like the topics at all.
Okay, I agree. But guess what? It was Shadow that picked the topics. Are you saying that his logic and mindset isn't up to your liking then? Because he's the one that picked them, not me.
So a lot of these debates aren't even, exactly, a lot of these debates aren't even debates.
Actually, this was a debate. A very messy debate, but it was a debate nonetheless. Unfortunately, the technical issues made it a very bad debate, but it would have been a very good debate if we didn't sit here and have all those technical issues.
When I had my debate, that was an actual debate. You know why? Because I busted this dude's ass.
Still waiting for you to prove it. You made so many claims, claimed that I was a liar, I was disingenuous, but you never proved any of it. I had the proof on up.
Because I called him out on stuff that he said that was fake.
Yeah, you did, but guess what? You never proved it. I had proof that you were being disingenuous. It's in my videos. You just didn't like that I exposed you.
And I told him to his face, you're a phony and you're a fraud, and you know what I'm saying? You're a phony, you're a fraud, and you're disingenuous.
Even though you didn't prove it at all you did was make all these claims. Guess what? I proved that you were.
That's what it is, and that's that, and I don't got nothing else to say, because this dude's a liar, and he's disingenuous. He's not linking the freaking clips so people can get the full context.
Yeah, I didn't do that in the very first video, because I didn't think to do it. I forgot. And guess what? I asked you, do you want me to? And then you went on this long tangent saying, oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, you're going to do what you want to do, yada, yada. You threw on a little whiny tangent. But don't worry. See, later on in this video, someone sends them a clip that, tries to expose me and take me out of context. Guess what? I'm not a little bitch like Player Essence is. I won't whine and cry and throw a little fit if people take me out of context or they make false claims against me or try to make me look bad or whatever. Guess what? I will turn their asses into content, which is what I'm going to do in the next video. Oh, you best believe it, because I won't sit here and whine and cry. I'll prove it.
He's out here clout chasing. That was a debate. I don't care what anybody says. When it says gotchas, damn right I gotcha.
Yeah, you got me with the brainwashing part, but at least I don't sit here and make up new definitions of words that fit my narrative to try to play a victim like you do. And again, you keep saying that I'm clout chasing, and I prove to you that I'm not. So you're just full-blown lying. And you just try to brush it under the rug, because you sat there and said I'm clout chasing because I pick people with bigger YouTube channels, even though I've debated people that were smaller than me.
Flip this with a $10 dono.
Is complaining constantly. 3 scumbag companies have made their decision. If they use game keycard, they will never get my sale. Their loss. Enough games to play that are proper physical.
Flipping the switch. Don't worry, I'll link you down in the channel. Hopefully that you'll actually watch this one. I doubt it, because you must not have been paying attention in the debate. But do you not remember that I sat there and said that it was also third party if they choose to do it? I also sat there and stated that. The only thing I stated differently was when you got the smaller games, if all they had an option of was a game key card and a 64 gigabyte, then that one falls on Nintendo for not giving a different option. We got to be realistic here. We can't expect a game of the size of Tetris to put it on a game key card here. And flipping the switch, listen, I don't have it out for you. I don't even really know exactly who you are. I know that you hosted a debate between him and Primey, and I know that you were in my live stream watching the debate. I was actually surprised. I didn't even know that you even knew about my channel. I knew about you from that debate that you hosted, but I don't hate you. I really don't. The unfortunate part is you're involving yourself with this low-life piece of shit of a YouTuber known as Player Essence. Unfortunately, you're going to be caught in the crossfire a little bit, so don't take any of this personal.
Exactly. They do it and they do it or they don't. Plain and simple. That's really all it comes down to. Either they do it or they don't. If you don't want it, then don't get it. If you want it, then get it. That's it. That's all it comes down to. There ain't really nothing else.
We were debating on whose fault it was, and I bet if you never watched this debate, and I bet that if you were asked that question, you would have said it almost the exact same way that I would have, because I've heard you say it almost that exact same way before on your live streams. That's the funny part. You're so damn stupid that you are bashing me, even though you agree with me and you would disagree with your homie Shadow Fox.
More than that. You know, there's nothing to debate.
Again, I didn't pick the topics there. If you have a problem with them, then guess what? You need to go get with Shadow Fox on that.
Didn't take seriously when opinion debate, bro. Don't even know what a debate is. That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, I thought that we were debating a topic was that the Switch 2 is a Switch 2 and not a Switch Pro. Nobody can prove that the Switch 2 is a Switch Pro. That is purely an opinion. Again, I didn't pick these topics here.
I'm not sitting through something for 2 hours. For what? Shadow Fox is awesome. This is not a knock on Shadow Fox. He knows how to debate. He knows what he's doing. My man is very good at debating.
Even though you're talking shit about the topics that he picked, for a matter of fact. That's how stupid again you are. See, you always love to claim that you are a fact-based, logical news channel, even though you don't do one of the biggest rules when it comes to journalism. You verify your facts, you verify your sources, you freaking idiot.
You know what I'm saying? He's very good at debating. He's very good at making his point and explaining things thoroughly. I watch Shadow Fox all day, but the problem is like...
And this isn't a knock on Shadow Fox either. When it came to the first topic, I will sit here and give Shadow Fox the win because I misunderstood what he wanted to actually debate about. And I should have asked more questions because I got confused when he sat there and said he wanted to debate if the Switch 2 was the 10th gen. I thought when he said that, because I kept running around saying that the Switch 2 was a Switch Pro and not a Switch 2. I thought that's what he wanted to debate. So I should have sat there, asked more questions, because if I would have known that's the topic he would have debated about, I would have said there's no point, because I would have agreed with him. I've already conceded that the Switch 2 would have been the 10th gen, so there would have been absolutely nothing to debate about in the first place. So that one's on me. And Shadow did very good when it came to the Q&A. Now, when it came to that game key card, now, I'm sorry, Shadow, you didn't do that good in the game key card, man. You know, I was the one that was right in that one. You could take it how you want. If you try to get someone to prove a negative, then you pretty much have lost it at that point.
That's what that type of, like when you have somebody that's completely inept on the other side of the debate. A debate is really good when the two people know what they're talking about, or at least attempt to know what they're talking about.
You do realize I did know what I was talking about. I came very prepared for that debate. Unfortunately, I came prepared for a separate topic point that I thought we were debating. When it came to the game key cards, I came very well prepared to that debate. I proved my point. I gave my opinion based upon facts and evidence that any of us had. It's not my fault that he could not disprove what I was saying, and he was trying to get me to prove a negative. That's not how debates work.
But if you've got a complete clout chasing idiot...
Again, who am I clout chasing? You do realize that I have more subscribers than Sandstorm does, and me and Shadow are on pretty much the same level of subscribers. So who am I cloud chasing here, Player Essence? If anything, to your logic, because you sit there and say that I pick bigger people, Sandstorm picked me. So does that mean you're trying to say Sandstorm was clout chasing off of me?
On one side of the debate, how can you have a good debate? This guy's a clout chasing moron.
We would have had an amazing debate if we didn't have all the technical issues. Unfortunately, the technical issues held it back. We already firmly agreed with that one.
He don't play no video games. He's not a gamer. This guy's a bum.
Well, that's just you speaking from ignorance, because there's actually proof that I do play video games. I have quite a few live streams up where I am playing video games. Just because I don't play 10 hours a day of video games like you do. I don't do this full time. I have a job. I have a wife that I like to spend time with. I don't have an unlimited amount of time like you do to play video games. So I actually do play video games.
You know, how can you actually have a good debate when you have a complete idiot on the other side? Like,
you know, you keep sitting there saying that I'm a complete idiot, but when it came to the second topic, if you would have been asked it, you would have said it the exact same way I did. Me and you would have actually had the exact same stance on it. So if I'm a complete idiot, what does that say about you where you have the same opinion of that person you're calling an idiot?
so it's not a good debate. I can't watch it, you know? My debate was painful. I tried to watch it again. I'm like, this debate's trash, you know? So
the only reason why you don't want to watch the debate between me and Shadow was because I didn't get destroyed or cooked in the debate. If I would have gotten destroyed or cooked, you would have been running your mouth. We all know it because you can't help yourself. Now, when it came to our debate, absolutely our debate was trash. We had two people, which is me and you, Player Essence, who did not come prepared for the debate. We're sitting here talking about a bunch of nonsense going around in circles, and then you had to leech off a Nintendo Prime, and Nintendo Prime had to step in, move the debate along, and drop some facts for you to use because you're nothing but a leech. You sit there, do like a news channel, but all you do is read from a script. You don't retain any of the information that you talk about.
you know, it is what it is. There's nothing that you can do. I'm done. I'm done with these people. I really am. I don't care. They can clip anything they want. They can say whatever they want. I ain't talking to none of them. Complete morons, bro.
Stop acting like I want to talk to you. I have never once ever tried to reach out to you. I have no want to talk to you. Even though people keep asking me to debate you, I know they're asking you to. We're not going to debate each other. I've already said, no, I will not debate him. He said he will not debate me, so that's never going to happen. But you keep sitting there saying this. You've been saying this for over 4 weeks now. Our debate happened over 4 weeks ago. Now, last week, well, you did this Pacific one on Friday, so you went almost a week without running your mouth about me. Like I said in the beginning of the video, you were doing so good. I almost had you trained to the point where you were going to start acting right. But you had to start acting up again, and unfortunately, I got to put you back in your place again.
I don't care. I'm do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be here. I've been here for 15 years. I'm gonna be here for another 15 years.
Yep, and you're only at the level that you are. Unfortunately, you're not at the level of Switch Force or RGB, whatever. I don't remember his damn freaking channel. There are multiple people that have been around for shorter than you have. Woods from Beat 'em Ups, Austin John Plays, and they are still way further ahead than you will ever be. So there's obviously something you're not doing right, and they did.
People like that come and go all the time. We've seen their type. These people don't last long. They don't got no sauce. They don't got anything good going for them. They just like to talk a lot. That's it.
You always love to sit here and say that, but guess what? You don't produce any facts. I actually have facts to disprove what you say. Go look at Eddie Mon. He does very similar content to what I sit here and do. He is just as negative or hateful as I am, like he likes to claim I am. And Eddie Mon's only been here for like 4 years, if I remember correctly. And he is over 3 times bigger than you, Player Essence. He will always be bigger. You will never reach that level of what he is at. So you can keep running your mouth all you want. Just because you keep talking isn't going to make it any true. And what I find is funny, he don't call me small fry anymore, because then he would be calling Shadow Fox also a small fry, because me and him again are on the same level of subscribers pretty much.
Yo, flipping this with a $5 dono. I appreciate that. Let's go.
I literally reached out and offered to sub in for that robot guy so viewers could at least hear a good discussion with less echo.
Yeah.
Good God, that was a train wreck.
I agree. I completely agree with you flipping the switch. Hey, I actually appreciate you sitting here saying that so even you can confirm that there was an echo, because people actually believe that I wasn't telling the truth, that I was making it up. Some people were making it seem like I was making it up here flipping the switch. So thank you very much. But again, hey, if you don't agree with what I sit here and have to say, or if I was wrong about anything, I am more than willing to take any facts or evidence you have, and I am more than willing to change my opinion based upon new information. I'm not that type of person who is set in their opinions that I will not change them.
I hate that this is the representation from the switch to critical position.
Oh, but you know what the problem is flipping the switch? You know what the problem is? The problem is the opposition. There is no normal, the opposition of normal people. Everybody already feels this. Most people already feel the same way. So there really is no real opposition. We all, well, a lot of people, we already say, oh, look, don't like game key cards. It's not like, people don't like them. We know that.
That's not what the topic debate was about. It was about who was at fault for those. And the thing is, you would actually say almost the exact same thing I would, because you said in your live streams before, when a company only has a choice between a 64 gig cartridge and a game key card, what do you expect them to pick? I have sat there and said that's exactly what I said in that debate, and I was told that I was wrong. He was trying to make me feel crazy, it felt like, for having that opinion, saying that, oh, that's coming from ignorance. Even though there was no evidence to disprove what I was saying. There was absolutely no facts or evidence to counter it in any way, and he was still going with it. My opinion was based off of the facts and evidence that we all were able to obtain. There was no other facts and evidence to support that I was wrong in any way when it came to those game key cards.
Most people will agree, yeah, it'd be better if it had everything on the, like everybody normal would agree, yeah, it'd be better if it had it all on the card. $80 Mario Kart, we all agree, yeah, it'd be better if it was not $80.
The thing is, I really don't even know what Shadow's stance was on there. I don't know if he was okay with Mario Kart World being at $80, because we were going back and forth, and I think I remember him sitting here saying that he didn't agree with the rising prices, but at the same time, it seemed like he was defending the $80 price point also, so I was getting heavily confused. I don't understand how you can sit here be against the rising prices but then defend it at the same time.
What else? Like, oh man, the battery life. Oh man, it'd be better if the battery life was better. It's like all the stuff that's actual real criticism, most people already agree with.
Those topics were never even brought up in the debate, so what are you even talking about?
Listen to those
I DM
people.
you the clip where Shadow Fox got him on the game key card. It's like what Nintendo Prime said. Bill Galante is playing tic-tac-toe. Shadow Fox is playing Chinese Go, lol.
Even though the funny thing was, I was correct when it came to the game key cards. So, Prime, if you're watching this, you can sit here and say I'm playing tic-tac-toe, he's playing Chinese. I was correct. The thing is, you said it too, but don't you worry. I got a video coming about you. I find it so funny that you and a bunch of other Nintendo YouTubers are now running around playing damage control because I made you guys look bad when it came to those game key cards. I find it funny that little old me created this ripple effects across your community.
Why did Nintendo create the game key cards then? If it's not for third party, why did they create them? And why isn't Nintendo publishing any games on game key cards if that's the case? That would be my counterpoint to that.
Well, my guess is the reason why Nintendo created those game key cards was to try to appeal to a lot of those third-party people. But it doesn't matter if Nintendo uses a game key card or not, or puts it on the 64 gig. That's the bare minimum for Nintendo to put their own game on a physical cartridge. So I'm not going to applaud Nintendo for doing the bare minimum.
That's understandable, but what you just did though was concede my point. If they did it to appeal to third parties, why are they doing it to appeal to third parties? And I think you kind of know where this is going.
I can barely understand what you just said.
Why didn't Nintendo create game key cards to appeal to third parties? No.
Like I said, it's a pointless thing once again. And
Oh, and don't you guys worry. I'm going to sit here and get them. Don't you worry. I'm going to do another video because this video's gone on long enough. Because I'm going to sit here and post a good portion of that debate. It's going to be like a 5-10 minute. I'm not going to do just a 1 minute to try to make it seem like, oh, he got me when he really didn't. Okay. We all know the reason why that the companies wanted Nintendo to give them game key cards. That was no secret. Everybody, if they didn't know, they can honestly guess. It wasn't a hard thing to do. But I'm not going to sit here and do it for this video because this video has gone on long enough. But don't you worry. See, I am not like Player Essence. I'm not going to sit here and whine and cry about people taking me out of context, about people clipping me wrong, you know, doing this, yada, yada. I'm not going to whine and cry about it. I will sit there and turn it into content. You guys are an idiot. You are literally giving me free content. And now it's time to read off the members of the channel. We got Brian Payne, Oh No Is Justin, Watari, Shad3 Milkman, MadFox94, Maximilian Pegasus 88, and Koros Objective. Thank you guys so much for becoming members. And if you truly enjoy this content, why don't you think about becoming a member? It's only $1 a month. You get special kind of badges, you get special kind of emotes, and at the end of all my videos, I will sit here and shout out all my members until it becomes too long, and then it'll be turned into a credit roll. So that's going to be it for my reaction. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're harder